Good morning. It's Monday, the 5th of August, and I'm once again back here in the vintage grove thinning, and still trying to do it by myself. But this has been thinned before. In fact, I may have even taken a video of it. But you can see, like right here, look at that, that's interesting. You know, there's a distribution of flower buds, but you can see two that aborted naturally. That's going to happen. And as a result of that, people think, well, the plant aborts naturally. No. Well, yes, it does. But you want to be in charge of that. And you have a lot of control by thinning early. And if we look around carefully, we'll see that there's not a heck of a lot of aborted flower buds, that most of them have already how should I say it? Most of them, I'm thinking here, are remain. They're just sizing up. I might have too many sizing up still, but very few in the way of natural abortion. Well, you could say, well, if you didn't do anything, maybe you would just have natural aborted flowers. There's one. But it doesn't work that way either. What happens is the plant is signaled that it's got too much of a load, and it just naturally aborts flowers. And sometimes it aborts a lot of them. There's two. There's one. But very few relative to the load. In fact, I'm still thinning. So let's go through a few things here. First of all, I had several requests from viewers about different things. One was about marketing, and I'm going to have to defer marketing because it's a bigger topic. And as much as it's a critical one. It's a critical one, but I'll touch on it given time. But anyway, the other one was about trying to make money on 1 or 2 acres. Well, I'm not here to tell anybody how they can or cannot make money. I am trying desperately to make this dragon fruit project work. I got everything that I could possibly put into this project in. I've extended my resources, my time and energy, stretched my friendships, stretched my marriage. Everything is in this. Why? Because I love it and I think it's valuable to society. I think it's valuable to farming. I think farming is valuable to society. I think it's a healthy product nutritionally. I think it has a lot of potential for the farmer. But, you know, you can try and control things sometimes, and then there are things that are just completely out of your control. Like, one of the things that's out of my control was Vietnam coming in with all their white fruit and essentially educating the market to dragon fruit being not sweet. Whereas I only know dragon fruit as sweet because that's all I've ever grown. There's 2 more aborted flowers. So we've got, I'm not going to really review thinning, I'm just here talking to you. So the guy that wants to make a couple of acres work for them, maybe they can grow these non-self-fertile types because there's advantages to some of them. Some of them are higher quality. Most most Vietnamese whites are not sweet. Almost all of them, actually. Some people will say, oh, I get 15, 18 bricks. I'm not sure. How long did they leave them on the vine? That's one question. How many fruits were on the vine? That's another question. Those types of things, because they all add to sugar levels. Anyway, coming back, virtually all the Vietnamese white fruit I've had are low in sugar. Now, yeah, I've eaten a few white Vietnamese dragon fruit that were edible, but are they as sweet as the red Guatemalensis? No. And so this is what I'm talking about, bricks of 18 to 20. You get 18 to 20, then everything else is sort of up to, what do they call it, subjective opinion. You know, I like the acid of that, or I like the flavor of that. Most people at 18 to 20 just like the sugar. I mean, like you look at Pelora, the yellow, what used to be the Colombian yellow, now is the Ecuadorian yellow. But it's used to be Salinas megalanthus, now it's Hyloceras megalanthus, I think. Well, look at that one, and you'll see that, yeah, it's very sweet, but maybe it's not preferential. Maybe it just kind of loses a little bit when it doesn't have any acid and, flavor component. But it's still good. I'd take a Pelora over any Vietnamese white. But anyway, so coming back to hand pollination. So maybe for the small grower that has just a few acres, maybe that grower is, should open up to the idea of growing varieties that are not self-fertile. That might give them some advantages, both in fruit quality and in seasonality. So that's one thing. Now, I'm not a big fan of the farmer's market. I started out doing this business in the farmer's market. Well, I did, but my poor wife was the one that had to drive down with van loads and trailer loads of fruit. But so she's the one that should be credited. But yeah, we've been to plenty of farmers markets, hundreds of farmers and markets that we've sold at. We've started farmers markets. I used to manage a farmers market, so I know about farmers markets, but I'm not a farmer market guy. Why? Well, because during harvest season, I don't have a second to put the fruit in the truck. I have just enough time to put it in a truck to the LA market, but that's it. So if you had a small acreage, quite possible that you could get fruit to farmer's market and you could get retail price for it. You see, that's what we're talking about. I'm only getting wholesale price. My wholesale price right now is just a little over $2. Everybody says, oh, look at the dragon fruit, it's $6 to $13. Well, not to the grower, it's not when you have volume. When you have volume, you have to negotiate price in order to move product. And I'm telling you right now that although I get $3 a pound on some of my wholesale fruit, By the time you average in the smaller fruit and throwaway fruit, well, actually not even counting the throwaway fruit, but the smaller fruit and the lower quality fruit, my average returns is somewhere between $2 and $2.25. Now I'm trying to move that up. We've got a certified farmer organic ranch coming into production next year, and we might be able to get that up $1 at that ranch. I'm hoping to get it up to $3, $3.25. Now this is to the farmer. So anyway, so I bet I've taken up enough of your time, but we'll talk about all these topics at some point, and I hope your day goes well.